Hey there, welcome to Code Projective. For today's video, we will have discussion on minimal APIs in .NET 7. So .NET have introduced one more feature that is called minimal APIs. And for that, you don't need any more controllers or method or models the orthodox way, that are the orthodox way. That is good, but you don't need that. You just need one program.cs file and that is it. Everything will be handled inside that. And so let's create this project and make sure you watch this video till the end to get to know how the minimal API works in a professional way. So let's first go to Visual Studio and create a new project. We will select this ASP.NET Core Web API and hit next. Now give the project name, let's say minimal API, and hit next. And this comes under .NET 7, that is fine. Then configure for HTTPS. Okay. For minimal APIs, you need to uncheck this use controllers. In the bracket, you can see uncheck to use minimal APIs. So that way, if you select this is an orthodox way, a controller will be created and you have to go for that way. So I will uncheck this and hit create. Okay, so my project has been created. Let's close this first. If you observe, you can see there is no controller in this application, and we have only program.cs and weather forecast.cs. So if I open program.cs, let me close this and this as well. So you can see the program.cs file is something different. Here we have all these things written, which is not written in the orthodox way if you add controllers. So I will just first I will remove all these stuffs. And yeah, now, so in the bottom, I will create the properties of the data which I will fetch. So first class, name of the data is, let's say, employee. And here I will pass some properties. I'll type prop and then double tap. So the property is ID. First one is ID, then prop string name, and this would be required, then public required string designation. Okay, so my class is done. Let me fix a little. After this, I need to go for one middleware that is mapping the HTTP request. So I'll go for app that, or everything should be above this app.run. So I'll use app.map. I will map the get method here. This is a middleware. Inside this, I have to pass the routing for our method that is, let's say, employee. This is the routing, and now comma, then this, and here I have to return the employee. So I don't have a object named employee yet, so I'll create that. And here I will create a list of employees, that is employees. Okay, and employees equal new list employee, and inside that I will pass new employee, and the datas are id equal 1, then name equal name is a string type, so this, and then I have designation, that is also a string type, so this. I'll copy and I'll create 3 more employees with this, or 4 more. ID 2, the name is, let's say, John Doe, and designation is IT admin. I'll hit comma here. Okay, and then ID 3, name is Ash King, I guess, and this is lead, tech lead, I would say. And then we have ID 4, he is, or she is Shima, and designation is intern. Okay, so it is, I'll hit a semicolon here, and I also need to hit a semicolon here too. And this is throwing me an error. Why this is throwing me an error? I think I have missed one parenthesis. I have to put it here. Okay, so if I hit build here, let's see if I'm getting this endpoint or not. So my build is successful. If I hit run, so my Swagger UI is loading. Okay, here you can see one get employee. This is the endpoint. If I go for tryout and execute, I should get those 4 results. See, I'm getting this list of employees. So now let me close this and go for the get employee by ID, that operation. So for that, I need to have again app.map get. Inside that, I just have to write my routing, that is employee slash the ID that need to pass. Then comma, I'll have one ID, that is int ID, and then inside this, let me first give a semicolon here. And now let's say if ID is not listed here, let's say if I go for 5, then it should return me null values. So that's why we have to go for the null check as well. So now first let us discuss about the null check. So for that, first we need to have to find the ID, find the employee with respect to that particular ID. So I will go for var emp of em employees dot find. Inside that, e, then e dot id equal id, sorry, equal id. So that is for if there is an employee with this ID, then that value would be stored inside this emp variable. And now I will go for if condition. If emp is null, then return results dot not found, and the name should be the value should be sorry, employee is not in the DB or list, I can say. So that is done. Now if there is a value, like there is an employee, then I'll have to return result dot OK, and inside that the emp, whichever data is passed inside this emp, I will return. So I'll hit build again, and run it. Maximize this. I will go for the first one first. So I'll try out, execute list of employees. And for this, let's say for the second endpoint, I will need the details of Pritham Vishwas. So that is ID number one. I'll go here, expand this, go for tryout, and it is asking me the ID. If I put one here and execute, it should give me the value of Pritham Vishwas. If I put 5 and execute, it will return me, sorry, employee is not in the list. So this null check is also handled. Now I'll close this and here. So now I will go for the post method, that is I will add one more employee in the list. So I'll do app.map post. Okay. Inside that, first the routing is same as employee. Then I'll go for the object that I need to pass, that is employee emp, and I'll go and add that particular employee. So I'll go for employee dot add, and inside that emp, and I'll return the employees, and I'll run this, build again, and then hit run. So my Swagger UI is open, and here I have one post method, that is employee. So I'll go here, try out, and you can see the request body. So I will pass this name, let's say 5, and ID is 5. The name is Rajesh, and designation is, let's say, CA. Okay, and I'll hit execute. If this gave me the employee list, that means, okay, it is giving me the full employee list. And here I have this, the last one, ID is 5. If I hit get all employees again, it is giving me ID as 5. If I go for the last one, that is employee ID with ID, I'll go for 5, execute, it is giving me 5. So this is also done. Now the next part is, let me close this first. Now the next is put. So I'll go for app.map put, that is for the update one. So here I'll first hit the routing, then the ID of the employee that I need to update, then the employee object emp, and the ID, that is in ID. Inside this, I need to first check if there is an employee with this particular ID or not. So where employee equal employees dot find e dot id equal ID. If there is an employee with this ID, then the data of the employee should get stored in the employee variable, and okay, semicolon, employee variable. And then if employee variable is not null, employee variable is null, then I'll go for return result dot not found, and inside the message should be oops, employee is not present. That is done. So if there is an employee, then I'll hit OK, and I'll pass the employee details inside that. Before that, I need to update the employee details. So I'll go for employee. So this is where the data is stored for this particular ID. So I'll have to update this data. So employee dot name equal emp dot name if the name is updated, and then employee dot designation equal emp dot designation. Okay, and when these two get updated, then I'll return the particular employee. So I'll hit build and then run it. My Swagger is loaded. Now I'll go for this put method. Here first go for the tryout, and I will put first my which data I need to update. Let's say I'll go for this get all employees, and here the fourth one is SEMA, and designation is intern. Let's say I want to update his uh, surname as well as the designation to associate. So I'll go here and put first the ID, and here I'll go for ID as 4, the name as SEMA, let's say Roy, and the designation that is associate. If I hit execute, it is returning me ID as 4 and name as Seema Roy and designation is associate. If I go for this get list of employees, execute it, you can see the designation and the name is been updated. Now if I go, let's say 5, and irrespective of this value, if I hit 5, then it will return me null values. So for the null check, it said, oops, the employee is not present. So this is also done. Now let me close this, minimize this. So for the last one, that is the delete, whichever things I have got in the update, the same thing I need for the delete as well. So I'll copy the whole thing and paste it here. Now change this map routing to delete. And here everything should be same. The things that will different is this. So when this employee, if there is an ID, if the ID matches with this particular list and we have a data, we will store that data inside this employee variable. If employee variable is null, then the same thing is there. The result is not found. If there is an employee data, then we should do just employees. From this table, I will remove the particular employee. So remove the employee. So I'll return the result, and I don't need this. So I'll remove this. I just need the ID to get it deleted. So I'll build it and run it. So my Swagger UI is loaded. Now we have one delete method. I'll try out, and here I will put 4. If I execute, so I got the list without the fourth data. So that is been deleted. If I go in the top and execute this get all employees again, so there is no fourth data. So that is done. And now for the null check, if I hit 4 again, so now the current situation is there is no fourth ID. So if I hit execute, it should return me the null check values, the result that is, oops, the employee is not present. So that is it, guys, for the minimal APIs. Guys, if you want to see the entity frameworks interactions with this minimal APIs to get stored the data inside the database and all, then you have to check video that is coming in the I button. And till then, hit like and subscribe to my channel. Chalo, bye.